Hi there, welcome to Ask TheExpert, an award-winning daily series from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. to help small businesses. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments of the live feed. And if you need any more advice, join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook, where you'll find accountants and business experts who are on hand 24/7. During the live session, we'll be running a poll, so please do engage with it, and I'll reveal the results at the end. The poll is asking you, how have you pivoted your business during COVID? On the 3rd of March, you can attend Intuit QuickBooks virtual event, QuickBooks Connect. The virtual event brings entrepreneurs, small business owners, and accountants together to grow, learn, and connect with each other. So hi there, my name is Freddie. I am the founder of Stag Coffee, which is part of the Coffee Best Limited company. We have been running since April 2016 with my first coffee shop in Ashford Town Centre in Kent. And business was all going well. We opened up a second shop in Canterbury in March 2019. March 2019. We are a family business. Everyone's involved, from my wife to my grandfather, my dad, had all members of the family run and help out. And business has evolved so much over the past year, especially. So before COVID, we were just coffee shops, restaurants, bars, doing lots of pop-up events with guest chefs coming in, and all sorts of other events and live jazz nights. Then during COVID, we quickly pivoted our business to a grocery home delivery business, where we were servicing in our peak 50 households a day in the Kent area. And we did that for the first 3-4 months. Very busy time, a lot of fun. And that really helped us keep going, kept our sort of cash flow nice and healthy. Then when it came to sort of August time with the Eat Out to Help Out and the reopening of hospitality, again, we pivoted a bit more to benefit more out of the Eat Out to Help Out. Being a coffee shop, your food sales tend to be lower than of a restaurant. So we put on special themed evenings throughout that whole month, converting our kitchen to a bit more of a restaurant kitchen. And that again went down really well. We launched new menus in our Canterbury store, and we had a new menu planned for release in Ashford. But unfortunately, that sort of with the introduction of the next lockdown in November, we didn't launch that menu. And then in November, December, with that lockdown, we didn't do anything that time round apart from planning. I decided that we needed to find a more permanent solution to lockdowns and COVID, rather than keep on trying to find a business that will work for the moment. I wanted something a bit more permanent, a bit more COVID proof, that would be a business we could keep forever. And so during the November, December lockdown, we started making plans to create a unique takeaway brand, which we could put inside our coffee shop as a dark kitchen, which we worked really hard for. And in January, we opened our virtual doors to our new business, which is called El Ciervo, which is Spanish for the stag, so it works well with our branding. But we've now opened a TexMex dark kitchen in our Ashford shop, which has been going amazingly well so far. We've been operating now for just over a month. Actually, it's a month tomorrow. will be open, and the feedback and the orders have been overwhelmingly positive for our new takeaway, and we are currently working to recruit and staff our current business properly, so I can then move across to my Canterbury unit and see if we can recreate the success we found in Ashford in Canterbury. So the TexMex has been going really well. The last time I was on the Ask TheExpert was about 4 months ago in October, and I gave a 6-month plan for the future, and part of the plan was talking about our ready meals and how we would grow that side of the business. And as with all plans, most plans change as we go. So from that plan, we've now just launched a online website where we can now deliver nationwide around the UK. We deliver once a week, but it's sort of next day delivery on that once a week. And it's been going really well. The website is a much smaller menu to our local menu. But the main thing that we've sort of developed on our ready meals is we've actually had a bigger focus on vegan specialist food. We found there's been a bigger demand for vegan food. And so we've sort of specialized into producing vegan meats. So like your vegan bacon, your salamis for your pizza toppings, vegan chicken, which is what the website is particularly focused on at the moment, whilst we continue to figure out how we want to deliver our ready meals properly, because the ready meals we're trying to deliver frozen, whilst our vegan meats are delivered chilled, and it's easier to do chilled deliveries than it is frozen for us at the moment. But things have been going really well with the website. It's called www.veganbritallions. We have branded it differently, as well as our TexMex, to avoid a confusion of our branding for when we come out of COVID, because that is one of our concerns with all these new things we've been doing. When we do open our doors, what will customers think of Stag? What do they expect from Stag Coffee? So we've had to start separating our businesses out to not confuse our general message, but using our existing brands to promote each other. So yeah, and if we find it helps the marketing in general by separating them out, it makes sense in the long run to separate them out. So if we want to franchise the TexMex business, which is something we are thinking of doing if it's successful in our Canterbury shop, we're not going to have it muddled up with our Stag Coffee shop. And with the vegan meat side of the business, which is going down really well, especially down the wholesale, where we're now starting to supply other restaurants and small independent shops with our products. Again, we found it's worked better with that. So yeah, with our 6-month plan, we were planning on launching those ready meals on a nationwide basis. So in part we have, but what we've done is really moved our nationwide delivery to focus more on vegan specialist sliced meats. The 6-month plan never really had a takeaway option on there. So that's now changed. And so I'd say our new 6-month plan at the moment is to develop our takeaway offering, keep building our UK-wide delivery of our vegan sliced meats, and solve our ready meal delivery issues so we can include that onto it. And then we are reapplying for our Kickstarter scheme. So we did apply back in October for a Kickstarter scheme. For those of you who know, it's the government scheme where you apply through for a small business, you apply through your Chamber of Commerce. They will then help you apply for extra staffing, which is paid for the first 20 or first 25 hours every week for the first 6 months are paid by the government. So it's a really good opportunity to hire for a position you would never normally hire for. And then after 6 months, hopefully that position has proven that it brings value to your company and you can continue having them on. So we unfortunately didn't get approved first time round. In short, we've been told that we applied early on and the criteria for passing was that much higher, but we've just recently last week resubmitted, and we're told it's a much easier and much quicker process, so it won't be another 4 months wait before we can hopefully get an answer and hopefully get a yes and get someone started to really help with our marketing, because the marketing is definitely something that keeps things going well for us. I think the success for our takeaway has been our marketing, been much busier than I anticipated, 3 times as busy as we anticipated. But I should probably start taking questions, as I've got a load of questions lined up for me now. So I've got a question from our Instagram stories. The question is, what has been your biggest learning from the last year? I like to have extra days off. I am working less intensive days. Well, no, I'm working more intensive but less days. So I am enjoying my days off. The biggest thing is my biggest learning, to always keep in constant communication with your customers, whether you're trading or not. Keep them engaged, let them know what you're doing. Even if you've got nothing to sell, just, put something out there on social media, send out a newsletter. Because when you do decide you have something to do, they're sort of ready to respond. It works well. Be flexible in your ideas for a business. I would not have thought I'd have a takeaway business and a vegan wholesale business and have done groceries and all the other little things we've done in the past year. But yeah, just basically be adaptable. And marketing is super important. I've always known it, but it's been the biggest thing I've noticed in the past year is how important it can be. So I hope that answers the question. Isaac from Twitter has asked, how have you kept your employees motivated and informed in this difficult period? I own a small business and we're also doing takeaway now, but I'm struggling to motivate myself and my staff sometimes. Really good question. It comes down to little things, I guess. We like to have fun at work. I bought all the staff Easter eggs last week and gave them a load of Easter eggs, and it's just sort of looking forward to planning for the future. We have a good sort of social media WhatsApp group chat where we have a bit of fun. I like to have the staff very heavily involved with the plans, so I'm not the one figuring out everything. I have an idea and then I will delegate and get them invested in the plan and let them see their items coming through. So we have a head chef, but then also the chefs around are all asked to put their thoughts and put an idea, and we try and include something from everyone or coach them to to develop their ideas so we can include it. So we keep them busy, I guess, and make them feel valued by listening to their ideas and trying to include them. It has definitely been hard. There are some certain staff that have been struggled more with mental health, and it's just basically putting it out there and saying we'll be, we can help support with our Canterbury staff, which has naturally been a quieter store at the moment because I live locally to Ashford, so a lot of my time and effort has been focused on work based in Ashford. It has been harder, and I do try. I keep in touch with them, and as we're getting closer to our new project in the other shop, it keeps them. It gives them some extra sort of motivation and purpose. But it is really difficult, and it's I find it small gestures. By rewarding a busy day with small chocolates and stuff like that, and depends what your staff members like, really. Motivating yourself is difficult. I mean, for me, it's a case of making sure I'm in as good a position as possible. I do like to work. Work is fun, and I like having new businesses and new things, and it's nice hearing good feedback from customers. So it's a challenging one, that one, but I find it's do what you can for your staff members in small gestures to show your appreciation for the work they are doing. Karen from Facebook Messages asking, I set up with Uber Eats and haven't been too successful. Do you have any advice? What has worked well for you? So my main focus when I was planning my takeaway was Just Eat, Uber, or Deliveroo. They charge an enormous amount of money to use their platform. So all my advertising has been based on our own system. So I use this very basic app called Appaway, which they provide you a website. They also provide you an app on the app stores, and it's fully branded. It's all your own, and I keep 100% of the money. I just pay a weekly fee of about £15 a week, and all my advertising is going through that. So all my social media presence, I use my Stag Coffee pages, all my pages I have, I advertise. Use our own app. You get discounts like 10% off your first order or 20% off your first order using our app. So they, give them a reason to use your own app. Works really well. We are on Just Eat, but in fairness, we get all our orders. I've never once advertised it. Are just people who are looking on Just Eat and order from you because of your menu. So I don't find you need to advertise Just Eat or Uber. It's your own app which does well. We worked with our local radio station to get our name out. So we've, we did a month advert, and to be honest, going local radio is usually cheaper than doing a more regional, larger radio station. They like to work well with you. You'd be surprised. A lot of the radio stations will do free advertising if you do like a competition with them where you're giving free food away. It just gets your name out. And then we've started in the past 2 weeks doing flyers. So we printed 10,000 flyers and doing half of Ashford, having someone deliver them. And I mean, the cost is about £600, but you'd like to think that you'll get a good return on 10,000 flyers. And with takeaway, Facebook and social media advertising works well, but you realistically, most of the flyers is going to give you a better return for your money. Just because I know for a fact that if I see a takeaway menu come through, I take a look at it and it will probably get me to order it. I'm not looking on social media for my takeaway. But yeah, marketing, having my own app is really important because that's sort of helps with the finances of everything, because giving away 14-15% commission to Just Eat, it adds up. I think the first day I was giving Just Eat £75 for the first day of orders, and but for the whole week through my own app, I'm only giving them £15. So it works very much to no advantage to have your own app, I would say, and it's very low cost. Hope that helps. From Facebook Messenger, I've got, "Hi Freddie, have you considered the option of taking up a franchise of a large," I can't say that word, I know what you mean. "I have heard they help you do the setup and support the training and marketing." I have, but there's always a fairly large costs. And for us with the TexMex, the takeaway, the reason we did it was because it was a low cost option. We already have a kitchen. We have a till. And we are, with Stag Coffee, have a presence on social media. And we basically set everything up, probably spending a couple of £1,000, and we were ready to go. Let's allow £1,000 for marketing and then £1,000 for extra equipment. We have since spent a lot more because we're a lot busier than what we anticipated. But you could spend a lot of money on a large, on a franchise, and because we already had chefs and everything like that, it was a case of figuring it out ourselves. I've definitely considered franchising our own business and basically helping people set up in their shop a new dark kitchen, because I think that's the future of hospitality, is takeaway. To be honest, I think restaurants will struggle for the next 2 years, even after lockdown, and there will still be people closing because people's habits have changed a lot. It'll take a couple of years for people's habits to properly come out. So I think doing good takeaway is a really important part of the future. So yeah, I've never really considered taking on a franchise of another business because the cost is too much. There will be benefits, of course, but it was never really an option either for me because I just don't have that sort of cash to hand. Katja from Instagram says, "How do you manage inventory planning? Do you have a good sense of the expected orders, or do you end up over or under ordering your raw materials?" Well, the first week we completely underestimated our demand, and so we didn't have that initial issue, and we basically sold out the first day and had to come in crack of dawn the next day to get everything prepped for the next few days, and we were playing catch up that first week of trying to get ahead. You do have to think about your menu and plan your menu. So the beef chili for our TexMex is a slow cooked, and we're making sort of 20 kilos of beef chili at a time, and we freeze it down, so we're not having to make to order. With our fresh, we have a very, very little amount of fresh wastage. You have to, with opening a shop, you have to allow for your opening stock to fluctuate quite a lot whilst you learn. I mean, we've been open a month, and we think the orders are now settled, and they're still about 2.5 times higher than what I thought we'd be at this time. At the peak, when our first 2 weeks, we were doing 3 to 4 times as many orders as I expected to do. So you've just got to allow yourself some learning space, but it's better to have more than not enough to begin with, and then over the couple of weeks you'll adapt. Like this week, we thought it'd be a little bit quieter than what it was, and we didn't quite run out of peppers and onions, but what it has meant is we're going to have to make a load more today and tomorrow because we're just not going to have enough to cope. But it's if you have it helps because we've been running coffee shops for 5 years, and although we'd never done a takeaway business and wouldn't know what to expect out of it, because you've got the experience and we've got the experience, we know to quickly adapt, and you learn what you can freeze and what you can't freeze. You can't freeze a raw pepper, but if you cook the peppers down and freeze them and mix them into a veg chili, then you can freeze the veg chili down and it's not going to affect the quality, and it's going to be good, because the reality is our level of business, we cannot make everything fresh to order for each day. It has to be done in advance. The barbecue ribs take 6 hours to slow cook. The beef chili takes 4 to 6 hours to cook. We don't have a big enough kitchen to do that all in one go. So yeah, I would. That's what I would say for that. As time goes on, we just did our first stock take yesterday for the El Ciervo, so we're having a proper look at how our finances are going with it. But in the process of doing stock take, we're properly costing out everything, so we have a proper view of what things cost and what our margins are like, and also helps us plan in the future. So we know 10-litre tub of guacamole, which is roughly what we go through a night at the moment, is 52 avocados, and that does 75 large portions or 150 half-size smaller portions. And all that sort of data will help plan. And as you get more information from your Just Eat and Uber Eats and your own apps, you can start sort of seeing what your best and favorite dishes and plan accordingly. But yeah, you do have to think very carefully about what's on your menu, to not putting yourself in a place where you're going to end up throwing away loads of stuff. Because yeah, you don't want to be doing that. Funny enough, the next question is, what is my best-selling dish at the moment? Best-selling dish at the moment is our pulled chicken burritos and pulled chicken fajitas. Yeah, that's what they are. But we have a huge amount of stuff. So I think I've almost run out of time. So the poll results are in. Have you pivoted your business in the last year? 33% of you answered yes, and 67% of you said no. Surprising, to be honest. I thought more people would, to be honest. But don't worry, anyone who hasn't pivoted their businesses, you don't have to. In fairness, I'd be really interested to know how the 33% of you did. And if any of the 67% of you want to find out, want ideas on how to pivot your business and do stuff, do get in touch with me. You can email me on Freddie, that's FREDDIE, .Hewett, HEWETT @gmail.com, or find me on Facebook, and I'll be happy to help. Coming up on Ask the Expert on Monday is Ariona, who is a chartered certified accountant and managing director of Major Accounts. Tune in to get advice on how to grow your business using the cloud. And don't forget to join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB group on Facebook, and also the Mindful Tax Kit. You can find the link in the comments. I've really enjoyed answering questions this morning, and have a wonderful weekend. See you later.